snowing again. Oh boy. Right here. As I leave, police, Gatineau police driving up alongside me as I leave. Harassment and stalking. I saw them the last couple times pretending to pull someone over at the side of the road, putting on an act. So they're there tonight, right as I leave, driving up next to me. They took a bit of time off though, where I didn't see too much of them for about 3 weeks or so. So now they'll be back to it again. What else are they going to do? They don't do any real work anyway, right? It's all fake, fabricated, enabling crime, enabling drug trafficking, lying about everything they do. So they got to get back to doing that. They can't go for any long extended period of time without harassing people. So, you know. So that's tonight. Tonight is, what is it, the 16th, I think? 16th of January. 2026. The date and time indicated by these glasses are not accurate, so I think it's the 16th. Yeah, approximately, what is it, 9:20 something? Let's check here. 9:26 p.m., yeah.
And just a matter of minutes later, as I am on the bus crossing over from Quebec into Ontario, just as the bus crosses into Ontario, you will see they have some RCMP vehicles positioned in the middle of the street, and two RCMP officers standing there next to what to me is clearly a staged fake car wreck. They have one of these tow trucks there. These tow truck drivers, as well as the plows and people who work for the city, are always regularly recruited to take part in these stalking activities, and are also used to stage fake events in coordination with the police, and do anything possible also to assist the police in their drug running and overall organized crime. So they basically partake in all of the deceit. And you'll see the usual routine here where they're just as the bus arrives, they make sure it's clearly visible, so right where the bus stops, they're pulling the car up onto the tow truck, or attempting to anyway. And the two RCMP officers, two heavy-set steroid junkie RCMP officers hopped up on their steroids, are sitting there laughing hysterically because it's just hilarious that there was a car wreck there, a car crash, and they're just finding it hysterical. So they're doing the usual routine where they get told to just burst out laughing while they're dealing with what should be a serious situation. Again, conducting themselves like total fools, grown men conducting themselves like immature 5-year-olds, and making a mockery of their jobs. And it's the usual type too that you see, the NFL looking type of people with the RCMP all steroided up with their fake steroid bodies, because these Freemasons get all sorts of free things that aren't available to the public for their workouts to make them look enormous. You can tell that's not natural, a lot of these cops. So that's the fraternal drug trafficking brotherhood of the RCMP, as I'm on my way to work, again setting up a staged car wreck, and just laughing hysterically, bursting out laughing, and conducting themselves like 5-year-olds, and making a mockery of their jobs. And what RCMP really should stand for is the Royal Canadian Masonic Police, because their only loyalty are to their Masonic lodges and the organized crime syndicates that they enable. So you'll see that here. And for anyone who would say, oh, you don't know it's staged, it could be real, and how do you know they're doing these things? They wouldn't do these things. Keep in mind that I've documented over 4.5 years of the police and other such people, such as the RCMP, doing these exact same things over and over and over again everywhere I go, in 3 different cities and 2 different provinces. And there's zero chance that would happen so frequently everywhere a person goes. If it was legitimate, And on top of that, all you have to do is look at the videos of exposed false flags that these criminals take part in, which are much more elaborate, in which they're also staging literally fake deaths with these drills that they set up to use huge amounts of the public to go along with them, to stage fake events with the media and lie in order to justify enacting more tyrannical laws, and to justify bringing in more armed police everywhere, walking around with automatic rifles. And in those same situations, you see police officers looking over at the cameras and laughing and just making a mockery of their jobs, just to show those who are awake that those situations are all entirely staged as well. So for anyone who would say, oh no, they wouldn't do this, I've documented 4.5 years of them doing it, and it would be mathematically impossible to have that happen this many times everywhere you go. And on top of it, we see clear evidence of police, firefighters, and all these other individuals with in medical positions and with the RCMP taking part in these staged mass deception events all the time in coordination with the media. So that's how I know it's 100% staged, and they do these things to people who they're targeting and harassing on CSIS watch lists all the time. In this next clip of documentation, I have just gotten off the train in Ottawa on my way to work for the night, and as I walk over to the side just to take a look out the window to see who they've positioned across the street, as they often position cars to wait for me or have stalkers standing there, as I showed in the previous video, sent to stand just along the route where I'm going to take. Regardless of which route I take, they send provocateurs to linger creepily in the area staring at phones just to provoke. And at times, if I have enough extra time, sometimes I'll just stop and record them at a distance just to make it as awkward as possible for them, because they're only told to be there while I'm passing through. So I like to intentionally drag it on for them because their handlers tell them to stay there, usually until I go, or until it gets to the point where it's too long if I'm recording, and then they'll just give them the go-ahead, as was the case with that previous video that you saw. So as I'm standing there just to check through the window, you'll see there's almost no one else at the transit terminal on either side of the platforms. But nonetheless, right next to me, two individuals walk up, and with no one else there, the only two individuals in the place have to walk up and stand right next to me, of course, and one of them, when I looked closely at him, just happened to be the exact same CSIS provocateur who had been sent to stand across the street from my workplace in the previous video, if you saw that one. And it's the same person who I have a picture of coming up to the window at my workplace to ask me to give him money. And that was all just part of the skit. They just do that to try to provoke a reaction. So he was instructed to do that just to harass me at my job. So he's sent to pace back and forth for almost an hour across from my workplace, behaving in an extremely creepy manner, and just standing there in the middle of heavy snow, just so I'll see it, because the window faces directly towards where he is. And so he then, again, just as I get off the train and move toward the window, the same stalking creep is sent over to walk right next to me and stand there creepily right next to me. So at this point, he's shown up at two locations, including being sent to my workplace to harass me there. So at this point, we have clear evidence that this is actual provable stalking that this person's being sent to do. And the people involved in sending him to do this, while he may have a go-between with like some sort of drug dealer who's also telling him to do this, at the top telling him to do that and encouraging it are CSIS and the RCMP. And so it's drug trafficking Freemason Daniel Rogers and drug trafficking Freemason Michael Duheme, who is the commissioner of the RCMP. These are the psychopath Freemasons instructing these people to break Canadian laws and harass people. And also, they're as well responsible for involvement in ensuring that the police make sure the flow of hard narcotics runs smoothly throughout the country. So they have to use these useful idiots and drug runners to do these things, because people like Daniel Rogers and Michael Duheme keep themselves insulated so that they don't get their hands dirty. But we're going to continually mention them, since they're the ones involved in planning these things, and they're the ones involved in orchestrating these criminal harassment campaigns in which they encourage people to knowingly break Canadian laws, while at the same time going on these staged TV propaganda networks and lying openly and saying they're doing things to keep people safe. In fact, the exact opposite is true. They exploit anyone who they can exploit, including women, children, the elderly, people with mental health and addiction problems. They will exploit anyone, and they'll use these people to try to provoke and harass, because the police are such dishonorable criminals. This way they don't get their hands dirty either, and if anything gets said to the provocateurs, then the police immediately step in and accuse the victim of, causing a problem with that person. So that's how they run it. And again, always remember, it's drug trafficking Freemason Michael Duheme. I'm not sure if that's how his last name is pronounced. That's the way it seems like it would sound. Duheme? I don't know. And Daniel Rogers. So, Commissioner of the RCMP, Michael Duheme, I think that's what it is, and Daniel Rogers. Breaking Canadian laws, facilitating the drug trade, exploiting people of all walks of life, from young to old to elderly, to break Canadian laws, encouraging them to commit crimes. Also having the police encourage people to drive with one headlight on at night, breaking Canadian laws and endangering the lives of others on the road, just so they can sensitize people who they're harassing in these organized stalking campaigns. Because it's more important to the drug trafficking Freemason police that they sensitize people who they're harassing than it is to keep people safe on the road. So it's also the police encouraging people to break Canadian laws and telling them to endanger people's lives on the road by switching one headlight off. I also have 4.5 years of footage of that, and the people who are doing that know that it's against the law, and they're being encouraged to do it by the drug trafficking Freemason police. So you'll see the same individual here who was sent to walk up to my workplace, and now it's criminal harassment and stalking, provable criminal harassment and stalking, as they've sent him to 2 locations to stalk me now. Again, drug trafficking Freemason Daniel Rogers and drug trafficking Freemason Michael Duheme. The type of person Daniel Rogers is, he's the type of person who would walk up behind you and throw a rock at your head, then scurry away and run and hide behind the biker gangs and criminal drug dealers and organized crime people who he allows to operate. So he'll scurry away and hide behind those people after he attacks you. And that's the type of honor that drug trafficking Freemason Daniel Rogers has.
Now notice this individual coming right over here as well, standing. He can't stand anywhere else, has to come right here. University student as well, of course. Type they use very often. I think this is that same guy. It might be the guy who they sent it to my workplace. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's the same stalker that they sent up that night. So you'll see where they position him too. I'm standing all the way over here. He comes and stands in front of me. It looks like him. Yeah, it is, I think. It's okay. He'll be online again. That's it. So they just had him come and stand here. It's the same person. I'll just show you. I'll turn from here. It's the same person who they sent to walk up to my workplace. This guy here. So hold on, I'm just going to turn around from this vantage point just to show you again. They're having him obviously stalk me as well as I go to work also, so I'll just show you from here. I think it's the same guy, I'm not positive. If it's not, it's somebody who looks very much like him. No, you'll notice here, I'm just going to show you down here, right? There's no one down there, no one here, yet the two people who are here both come right over to stand where I am, so I'll just make note of that here. Of course. I'm not certain if that's the guy. He looks kind of like him. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. I'll have to examine that more closely. I don't know for sure. They could have just sent somebody who looks like him, but it might be that guy too. I don't know. Either way, I recorded him, so I'll be able to determine it and take a look at it. But you'll notice that the two people there, they're concentrated in the exact area where I'm standing, and no one else is anywhere here. They could stand anywhere. They both come over to stand right next to where I am there. So it's those two CSIS actors there, and then the one up there as well. Okay, so I'm gonna exit now. It's pretty cold tonight, actually, and we'll have our usual thing set up over here. Probably as I cross. If I go this way, let me just see here. Yeah, they got the usual. Okay, gonna cross now. Here we got. It's too cold to stand around for very long tonight, that's for sure. So we'll just get whatever footage. Oh, okay, so on this side here, you see the female standing here. I'll just show you from here. CSIS person there. No one's going to be standing around outside in this weather for very long unless they're told to. So I'll just show you from here. The person who's standing next to the pillar there. Again, no one's going to be doing that in this. It's extremely cold tonight, right? So CSIS person there. So what we'll do is we'll exit this way, and she'll probably come away from there as I exit. She's just been told to stand there as long as I'm here. I'm not going to wait though tonight. I'll just give another look back so you can see where she's positioned, right where you exit there. Side over here. Oh yeah, they got the transit employee dancing around inside the place where I would cross the street there. Or is that just a random person? That's a bike rack thing. It's not a bus stop or anything. So where I would cross the street, it's freezing cold, it's snowing. They've sent somebody just to stand over there dancing around. And then here, so I'll just wait here. Just wait here till the CSIS stalker female either moves on or we'll just film for the entire time. So if I exit there, you can see where she's positioned. It's obvious right there. It's a CSIS lookout person there. And then down here, I'll show you again. There's a guy dancing around, just standing on the opposite side of the street where I would cross, dancing around inside of that bike rack thing there. Here, I'll show you. I don't know whether sometimes those transit employees go over there and pretend to smoke, but it looks like he's just been sent over just to stand there and dance back and forth. Okay, she's going in now. I'll just show you from here. Yeah, see, he's just walking back and forth. I don't even know if that's a transit employee. The CSIS stalker is approaching now. She's been given permission to come in here. It's a bit cold to stand for long, and he's been told to stand over there. So I'm just going to show you from here. Fake cough, I think she went by too. Yeah, looks like she's gone away from there now too. So she was just standing there the whole time, not moving either. And checked the phone and got permission to go ahead. Okay, so from here I'm just going to go over here. I'll show you where this guy's standing. And that's right where I would cross the street. So they have him positioned there pacing back and forth right where I would cross the street. And that thing that he's inside of is not a bus shelter. It's just like a bike rack thing. Because buses don't stop there at all on that side. So a lot of times, knowing that's right where I'm going to cross, they'll position someone there just to stand there and pace back and forth. So I'll just show you from here where he is. So we'll just keep watching him here. See, he's not smoking or anything. He's just dancing around inside the bike rack. And look at the weather. It's really cold tonight. The usual act, right? Again, that's right where I would cross the street, so they have him positioned there doing this stupid act. So let's drag it on from here. They'll send somebody over here too. You'll see if I stand here for long, they'll send somebody over to this side here. You'll see constables who will drive up probably soon. Let's see here. As you can see, so that's that area there. There's no bus that stops there. So he's just gone over there just to do what he's doing there, just pacing back and forth. Doesn't even look like he's smoking or anything. Just standing there waiting for me to cross. And this is all just to harass me as I try to go across to get to my work. It's drug trafficking Freemason Daniel Rogers and drug trafficking Freemason Michael Duheme who send people to do these things. And uses people like this. So he exploits teenagers, he exploits children, he exploits elderly people. That's drug trafficking Freemason Dan Rogers. And he probably has a high status within the lodge too because of his family. I think he's probably related to Ted Rogers in some way. Again, the people in these intelligence services, they create fake personas, so they just lie about their backgrounds and cover all that up, and then they insert them from prominent families into these positions to give them these important positions, even though they're completely unqualified. So that's drug trafficking Freemason Dan Rogers, exploiting, people like this here, telling them to do ridiculous things like this, just to harass people, and just a deceitful, devious criminal. But we'll constantly, continually talk about him and drug trafficking little dwarf Michael Duheme, who's a tiny little midget who's about 4'2", who's been given permission by pedophile Prince Charles to terrorize and harass people in this country. That's where it all comes from, the Crown. So they're the ones granting permission to do these things. The inbred pedo family of the Windsors, which isn't even their real name. They adopted a fake name as well, like all these families do of prominence, to cover up who they really are. So you already know the Windsors are closely associated with pedophilia. That's no exaggeration, because Charles was close friends with Jimmy Savile, according to their own media, their own controlled press. Even they put that out. So now they only allow them to put out as much as they want put out, right? So obviously there's disinformation mixed in with that. They're never going to give you absolute truth about things like that. It's probably way worse than what you hear. So, and then we have that other one, Prince Andrew, who's also been caught up with all that stuff too, admittedly. Now, the whole thing where Prince Charles has disowned him is totally staged. It's not true at all. They're all in on that type of thing. William, all of them. They're inbred psychopaths. And so these are the people who grant permission to Dan Rogers. They use the intelligence agencies as basically a secret police so that prominent Freemasons in Canada can have power and use them against anyone who they want to, really. So if someone's done something a Freemason doesn't like or offended a Freemason or some way, they can have them put on one of these watch lists and have the intelligence services, like the Stasi or secret police, terrorize them for the rest of their life. And they've done this to a number of my other family members too. So so it runs up to the crown, but it's drug trafficking Freemason. Always refer to him. I always refer to him as drug trafficking Freemason, because that's what he does. Dan Rogers, the biggest crack dealer in Canada, and Michael Duheme of the RCMP. So you see where this person is. He's not smoking. He's just been told to pace back and forth next to my workplace, or next to where I would cross there, and not moving. You can tell that no one would do this of their own volition unless they're receiving something in return for doing it, right? So, but Dan Rogers exploiting children, exploiting university students, exploiting the elderly, exploiting basically anyone. And then, of course, he has the people who are stupid enough to have signed on to this agreement where they get free accommodation and agree to basically become slaves to criminals like Dan Rogers. Being told what clothing to wear, what to say, what to do, how to think. You basically better bend over and just kiss the hand of these pedo Freemasons who are dictating your life to you if you've made that deal. But again, a lot of them are already from Masonic families, so they're fine with doing that anyway. They have no integrity. They'd sell their own children down the river for the flimsiest material gain. So this is, again, right where it crossed the street. They got a guy pacing back and forth creepily, continually here. He's not smoking or anything. And also, like I said, that's a bike rack. Buses don't stop there. So he's just been told to stand right where I would cross, as you can see. You saw this the other night, too, when I was crossing. But the woman was further down in a different area. Exact same scenario. Just standing there pacing back and forth. Yeah, you're going to be waiting a while, you scumbag. Wait a while. Don't worry. I got time. It doesn't bother me none. I've seen it a million times, so go for it. It bothers me a little bit because it's cold. I'll say that, but I don't care, really. I'm not playing this stupid freaking game with them. Here's the constables now driving up here, of course. Right next to their friend there, who's been told to stand there. They're not pulling in here. They're going down that way. Ottawa Special Constables. Here's the second one. Driving down here as well. He's just waiting for the alert on his phone to allow him to leave. You're going to be waiting for a while, buddy. Does he even have a jacket on? If he does, it's like a thin jacket. But it doesn't look like... I don't know, I can't... But you can see this. No one would do this, right? That's not a bus stop. It's just a bike rack. And that's exactly... When I exit the station, that's where I would go to cross the street. So they've just told him to pace back and forth where I would cross the street. You saw the other night there, on the opposite side, just further down where he is now, they had two females just standing there where I would cross through as well. Okay? And then on the way here, you saw the RCMP staged car wreck for drug trafficking Freemason Daniel Rogers. Gotta wonder how much drug money that guy himself pulls in from all his junk that he floods into the country, alongside Michael Duheme and Eric Stubbs of the Ottawa Police, who also works to ensure that his officers make sure that hard drugs flow freely, and that criminal gangs and dealers who they work with, biker gangs who they allow to operate their drug businesses. You got to wonder how much Eric Stubbs makes off of that as well, too, when he goes on these awful staged news programs to spew out lies and say, oh, we're working harder to help communities. Yeah, you're working harder to help communities by flooding them with drugs and allowing criminals to operate and staging fake events. Sure you are. But again, that's another person who can't talk, who can't think, who can't do anything without being told exactly what to say and do. He gets handed a script every time he goes on there, and he can't deviate from that script because he's just basically a slave, and they put him into the position to do the bidding of people above him. So if he deviates even in the slightest from that, he'll be removed from his position like the previous Freemason Ottawa police chief was after they staged the fake trucker convoy thing, with police staging a whole bunch of fake conflict with all these actors who they paid to go out there. A lot of them drug addicts who they control as well. So they hire a bunch of drug addicts to discredit people who are really against these agendas. So a CSIS person told to stand across the street where I would cross to get to my workplace. As you can see, he's just pacing back and forth, not moving. Similar scenario to what you saw the other night, but because it's cold, they've allowed him to stand inside of a bike rack area, inside of a sheltered bike rack. It's not a bus stop, and they've just told him to stand there, and as you can see, he's just dancing around. Probably a drug addict, because obviously CSIS and the RCMP control the supply, so they give these people little perks and benefits and, fuel their addictions by getting them to do these things as well. So once they do their assignment, they get their drugs or their little bit of cash or whatever they give them. And but you can see the type of behavior. Look at the guy. He's like, and he's decided this is what he's going to do with his Friday night, is to go over in freezing cold weather and snow coming down, and he's decided that he's just going to go over and stand walking back and forth, pacing back and forth. You can just tell these drug addicts will do literally anything to get their drugs. Yeah, stretch your legs out there. Yeah, check the phone again, you slave. You slave. Make sure your slave owner knows that you're doing what they told you. And you can't leave until your slave owner gives you permission either, so check the phone again. Waving his hands around. Get the This here is how CSIS fights domestic terrorism, by sending people to do stupid things like this. It's just ridiculous, right? And then the fact that organization is given any sort of power, people that sick in those positions are given any sort of power, tells you how messed up things are. That people like that should be in prison cells. People like Dan Rogers and Michael Duheme and Eric Stubbs should be in prison cells. They're not fit. They're psychopaths who are unfit to be in society. They want this community policing system because it allows them to completely break down laws and throw the country into lawlessness, where ridiculous stuff like this is done to harass people. Psychological harassment, sending people to stalk everywhere you go, sending people to mob you everywhere you go. So this guy's, again, he's just been told to stand here across the street. What are we at now? Oh, 10:28. Got lots of time. I just want to show the viewer too, no one would do that. You're aware that no one in their right mind would be doing this. You know, and only somebody who's getting paid to do something like this would do it. And it's just to evoke a reaction. As you can see, I don't interact with these fools unless I absolutely have to, right? I try to avoid it whenever possible, because they're told, again, they're told exactly what to do and say. They can't think for themselves. There's no free will. And they're trained since childhood by psychotic Freemason parents, a lot of them, and military families as well, train their children to have no empathy, to be psychopaths, to basically do anything that the communitarian state asks of them. So this is one of these people here. Looks like he's young, maybe in his 20s. He's definitely from that generation where they're just all psychopaths who've been trained by their families. That would be the younger generation now. Unfortunately, that's just the case. I mean, and for the ones that come later down the road, I mean, it's going to be 10 times worse, because the communitarian system is more out in the open now than it was, 10 to 20 years ago. It's a lot more out in the open now. I'm surprised they're going to send somebody probably to stand over here or stand next to me. But, again, this is just the same thing. Similar to what occurred the other night, as you can see. I suspect this guy's probably a drug addict, too. If they give him the go-ahead, I'm predicting. Okay, so if they don't have him stand here for what, they'll probably give him. I'd say, I don't know how long it'll be, but they'll probably have him go over to stand on that area where those females were standing the other night when he moves along. That's my prediction. He can't do it until they give him the permission on the phone, because he's a slave who has to do whatever the phone tells him, whatever the text he gets, or the alert on the community policing app that he has on his phone. So he has to follow whatever he's told on that, because he has no free will, no real intellect, and he can just be controlled on the most base level emotions, and controlled by using materialism. All he cares about, give him a new iPhone, he'll do anything, this guy here. He'll probably throw himself off the edge of a cliff if you give him a new iPhone. Not thinking about that he died before receiving the iPhone, right? That's the mentality these people have. It pretty much sums it up. And that's how their families raise them, too. And if any of them deviates in any way, they'll disown their own family members as well. It's that bad. From what I can see. This whole system works around the destruction of the family as a unit in general. And that's what communism does as well, where you have people concerned just to even speak openly to family members, because they don't know who's a part of these systems, who's signed on, and who hasn't. And so that's very common in areas where full-blown communism is in effect. And that's already going on here with the destruction of the family, with people, infiltrating families, sending people in to destroy families. It's very sad, and it's just a sign of the times, unfortunately. And the fact that you have people willing to do utterly ridiculous things like this is also a sign of the times. So, just keep watching. I've had 2 special constables so far. Probably have the police soon, or an ambulance or something. I know it's got to be, even in the shelter, it's got to be kind of cold for this guy, so that's why I'm trying to just drag it on as long as possible, let him stand there. But you can tell this is not somebody who's mentally stable would do this either, right? He's like dancing around. It's freezing cold. Why would anyone do this on a Friday night? It's not even a bus stop, right? He just comes here to stand on the sidewalk, right at the exact area where I'm going to cross, and just pace back and forth, dancing around. I'm going to put the body camera on soon. I don't want to expose it too much to the cold, because it drains the powder and stuff. Yeah, this is here's the plow now too. Of course, got up the plowing an area that's already been plowed. He's gonna come down too, of course. See if this guy signals to him or anything like that. He might. The other night they were using the plow specifically because I was recording in that area. So because they knew I would go up top there to get it from a distant vantage point, so I wasn't too close, they kept sending him to drive back and forth in the exact same. That's where he's going up now too, as you can see, right? Apparently this guy doesn't know that I'm patient. He's not, we know that. He just wants to get out of there. I'm patient, I can wait a long time. If I didn't have to get to work at a specific time, I'd wait even longer. Got nothing else to do anyway. So as I left home tonight, they had the Gatineau police driving by me. Oh my gosh, he's moving. He's moving. What the heck? You mean he's finished dancing around in that inside of that bike rack? Is he finished dancing around in the freezing cold? Oh my goodness, he's finally moving. Look at this here. What do you think the purpose of doing that was? Let's see if we can get a look at his face as he crosses. Now he's got to go back again. They're sending him back. Okay, check it out here. Oh, what's the matter? Your hand's getting cold? Yeah, get on that phone. Get instructions, you slave. Pathetic. Honestly, pathetic these people are. That's what he is. So we'll just look. So he's come out of there. They allowed him to. A slave owners allowed him to come out and stop dancing around in the freezing cold. And now he's going to get his drugs for total. They use the total dregs of society to do these things. Now you can get your crack, buddy. Don't worry. You can get. Oh, he's not going. Oh, I thought he was going to start walking. Okay, so he's not going to. I guess he's going to go back. Okay. I guess he's going to go back and stand there some more. Or no, he's going to go over to my work, to where I have to cross through to get to work. Yeah, they've told him to go over and stand closer to the area where I have to go to work. I think he's going to watch here. He'll turn right and he'll just stand over. Now that's where those females were standing the other night. Okay, so you see him going there. He's going to be told to stand over there now. I bet you that. Let's see if I'm right. So he'll go to the left and he'll go stand over that side there. Now, obviously, the viewer can tell that no one in their right mind would do that of free will. Just want to go out and stand there and do that, right? So you know for certain somebody's giving him something for doing this. Unless he's totally insane, and I don't think he is. So I think it's just an act. So yeah, look, watch where he's going to go. He's going to go exactly where those females were the other night, okay? Just watch. Getting towards 10 minutes. Okay, so we got more here, so one more on that side. Oh, look who it is. It's the guy who lives next door to me. They got him here now. Okay, I think that's him anyway. I can't tell for sure. It looks like more here. Again, more coming in. Again, they exploit all walks of life, all ages, and I think that's that guy who lives next door to me. I'm not certain, but I think they sent him as well. And this is I've just left work, so I'm just right close to my workplace now. And so coming up here too, right? And then you can see where they stand, like right up close as possible, where I am there as well. I just want to go take a look at that guy shortly. It's last this time. Just at the body cam here. I can't see. I think it is that guy. So they've told him to go behind, so I won't see him right away. Probably told him to do that so I won't see him getting on the train, but I spotted him pretty quickly. I think it's him. Let's see. Actually, you know, let me just see. Let me walk up here. Yeah, it is. It is, as you can see. See, it's him, right? It's that guy who lives next door. And waiting for me to leave work today. He's been sent to follow after I leave work. They haven't used him for about a few weeks anyway. I haven't seen him since Christmas time, before Christmas. So today he's here. He's just been sent to come here, and then he lives like right next door to me too. So. I'll show you here. That's over here on this side here. So I just left work, right? Just a very short distance from my work to here. And then goes here. I'll just show you this guy. Okay? Guy who lives right next door to me. Okay. Let's turn it around. I'll just show you from here. I'll get his face on camera. They have this person positioned here specifically because he's over there, so I'll just kind of turn here so I can notice she moved as soon as I came over. The one here, she moves right away. So I'm just going to show you from here. Let's make him unknown. That's the guy who lives next door to me. He sent him phone today. So the purpose of this is to get him to follow me right next door and walk in when I go in. He's a stalker. He's sent to follow me when I leave. You can see his face right there. Okay? See his face right there. Used by CSIS and Dan Rogers to stalk people. And he lives right next door to me. And he's just carrying that just as a prop, just so they'll see it. Now notice he's moving away, right? Because he knows. This one here, I'll show you here. This one with the glasses is with CSIS as well. You can notice how she moved over as soon as I started from this side. She's with that guy as well. She's been told to do lookout for him. You notice the smirk on her face as well too. Smirking, of course. But she knows who he is, so you'll notice as soon as I walked over to get footage of him, she starts blocking, moving over the way to block. She's a CSIS person as well. So. It's okay, we got her on camera here. You're smirking. Okay, I'll show you from here. You notice he moved away right away because he knows when I record. Yeah, it's the stalker who lives next door to me. The guy with the red hood over there is a stalker who lives next door to me, who gets sent to follow me to my workplace and follow me home. I got his face on camera a number of times, and there he is right there. Okay. And that woman runs cover for him there. That woman with the glasses, she's with CSIS as well. She assists CSIS with stalking people and harassing people. His purpose of being sent here was to follow me directly to the place where I live, because he lives right next door to me. So they have him showing up right near my workplace to stalk me. And he saw me there with the camera. As soon as he saw the camera, he turned his head. It's the guy there with the red hood. As soon as he saw the camera, he turned his head around, because he's a stalker. Okay? Make it look natural, you scumbag. Now watch how it fills up again. Okay?
$25.
Oh really? That's not bad.
Yeah, and the meat. Kilo is about $14. $15.
Oh
And
really?
it's a sirloin.